Hi, good day. I am Divine Rose Chica Bigkis, B.Ed student, third year. Now we are through with curriculum planning and designing. And to develop a curriculum, it should not end there. It has to be implemented. Today, I'd like to present our new topic, which is the implementing the design curriculum as a change process. Our learning outcomes at the end of this lesson, you should be able to define curriculum implementation, analyze what is change process in curriculum implementation, and explain the process of curriculum implementation. So, what is curriculum implementation? This refers to the act of working out the plans and suggestions that have been made by curriculum specialists and subject experts in a classroom or school setting. This means that the implementer and the manager of curriculum are the teachers. The teacher will put action to what has been planned and designed. So remember, before implementing, the teacher will design and develop the curriculum. Curriculum implementation is one of the crucial processes in curriculum development, although many education planner would say a good plan has work half done. According to Ornstein and Hankins in 1998, curriculum implementation is the interaction between the curriculum that has been written and planned and the person who are in charge to deliver it. And the person who are in charge to deliver it are the teacher. Curriculum can be a lesson plan or it could be syllabus. And as a teacher, it is your responsibility to add more meaning to the various activities in the classroom. To Ornstein and Hankins, the curriculum implementation implies the following: shift from what is current to a new or enhanced curriculum, change in knowledge, actions, attitudes of the persons involved, change in behavior using new strategies and resources, and change which requires efforts, hence goals should be achievable. This means that we need to have a new or enhanced curriculum to have an effective learning because in the past, there are methods, policies, and strategy that is not applicable in today's setting. Today, we are now already in a new or enhanced curriculum and we call it the K to 12 curriculum. We need to have a new or enhanced curriculum to have an effective learning for the learners to be more competent and to be equipped to understand themselves as individuals and allowed to develop to their full potential. Curriculum implementation, also defined by Lux and Lieberman as the trying out of a new practice and what it looks like when actually used in a school system. It simply means that implementation should bring the desired change and improvement. It includes the provision of organized assistance of teachers in order to ensure that the newly developed curriculum are actually delivered. In the classroom context, curriculum implementation means teaching what has been written in the lesson plan. Implementing means using the plan as a guide to engage with the learners in the teaching learning process with the end in view that learning has occurred and learning outcomes have been achieved. It involves the strategies of teaching with the support instructional materials to go with the strategy. Kurt Lewin of 1957 is the father of psychology who made a model that can be used to explain the curriculum change and implementation. This model is called Kurt Lewin's field force theory. In educational landscape, there are two forces that oppose each other, the driving force and the restraining force. When these forces are equal, the state is equilibrium or balance. Driving force are all forces that promote change. These change drivers promote and encourage the change process. We shall use this theory to explain curriculum change. In this illustration, it shows that there are driving forces on the left and the restraining forces on the right. In the middle of the two forces is equilibrium. Some examples of driving forces are government intervention, society's values, technological changes, knowledge explosion, and administrative support. Restraining forces are forces that make change more difficult. These forces counteract driving forces and lead to the avoidance or resistance of change. Some examples of restraining forces are fear of the unknown, negative attitude to change, tradition values, limited resources, obsolete equipment. If the two sets of forces are equal, then there is no change. The situation or condition will stay the same. However, when the driving force overpowers the restraining force, then change will occur. Then the restraining force is stronger than the driving force, change is prevented. Well, this is the idea of Kurt Lewin in his force field theory. So let me give this example in government intervention. Like the government signed the law with the passage of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of 2013. This ensures that the teachers of the next generation are equipped to teach young Filipinos under the new K 12 system. Republic Act 10533 or the K 12 system has been implemented because there is a increase in driving force. However, on the other side, if the restraining force also increases, the implementation of the new curriculum is prevented. Let us look first at the different changes that occur in the curriculum. It is important to identify this as part of our understanding of curriculum implementation. McNeil in 2000 categorized curriculum change as follows. First is substitution. The current curriculum will be replaced or substituted by a new one. For example, new textbooks, new equipment, replacement of teachers and administrators. Next is alteration. There is a minor change to the current or existing curriculum. Example, change in existing structures rather than a complete replacement of the whole curriculum, syllabus, or course of study. Next is restructuring. Building a new structure would mean major change or modification in the school system, degree program, or educational system. For example, sharing of resources among a group of schools or institutions, like using an integrated curriculum for the whole school for K 12, requires the primary and secondary levels to work as a team. Fourth, perturbations. These are changes that are disruptive, but teachers have to adjust to them within a fairly short time. For example, if the principal changes the time schedule because there is a need to catch up with the national testing time, the teacher has to shorten schedule to accommodate unplanned extracurricular activities. Another example is the current situation that we are facing now. In this time of pandemic where teachers need to adjust themselves in this kind of interaction in order to continue the process of education. And the last one is value orientation. This classification will respond to shift in the emphasis that the teacher provides which are not within the mission or vision of the school or vice versa. For example, when the new teachers forget the formation of values or faith, they need a curriculum value orientation. Regardless of the kind of change in curriculum and implementation, the process of change may contain three important elements. As a process, curriculum implementation should be developmental, participatory, and supportive. It should be developmental in the sense that it should develop multiple perspectives, increase integration, and make learning autonomous. Create a climate of openness and trust, and appreciate and affirm strengths of the teacher. There should be teacher support in trying new tasks, reflection on the new experiences, and challenge. There are simple stages in the developmental change process for the teachers. First is orientation and preparation. The initial use is very mechanical or routinary. However, as the skills are honed and mastery of the routine is established, refinement follows. This means adjustments are made to better meet the needs of the learners and achieve the learning outcomes. In this step, there will be continuous reflection, feedback, and refinement. For curriculum implementation to succeed, it should be participatory, especially because other stakeholders like peers, school leaders, parents, and curriculum specialists are necessary. Characteristic of teacher styles, commitment, willingness to change, skills, and readiness are critical to implementation. This should be coupled with organizational structure, principal style, student population, characteristics, and other factors. Trust among key players should also be sought, as this is a positive starting point. Involvement and participation encourage sense of ownership and accountability. Participation builds a learning community which is very necessary in curriculum implementation. Supportive curriculum implementation is required in the process of change. Material support like supplies, equipment, and conductive learning environment like classrooms and laboratory should be made available. Likewise, human support is very much needed. The school leader or head should provide full school or institutional support to the implementation of the new curriculum. They too have to train to understand how to address curriculum change as part of their instructional as well as management functions. Time is an important commodity for a successful change process. For any innovation to be fully implemented, period of 3 to 5 years to institutionalize a curriculum is suggested. Time is needed by the teachers to plan, adopt, train or practice, provide the necessary requirements and get support. Time is also needed to determine when the implementation starts and when it will conclude, since curriculum implementation is time bound. Support from peers, principals, external stakeholders will add to the success of implementation. When teachers shares ideas, work together, solve problems, create new materials, and celebrate success, more likely that curriculum implementation will be welcomed.